besides the reporting itself, do you actually have to write any of the stories or edit any
I
of the
write
footage?
them all.
No way.
It's not like, people think I show up, I look pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Yeah. That's 90% of it.
Yeah, of course. If
Not just that, guys.
Right. People think I show up, I look pretty, and I get handed a microphone, and all right, here's your script, talk.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah.
No. Like I said, I do it from the ground up.
Right.
A lot of the time it's me by myself. Put like right here we have the camera on the tripod.
Yeah.
And then you see like the viewfinder, I flip it.
Yep.
And then that's
yeah. I should have flipped the viewfinder. Is that thing blinking red, by the way? My dumbass would probably forget to turn the camera on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that happens. It's happened, dude. Oh, it's happened.
That's like my anxiety when I'm up here, and I don't know why. Sometimes I don't flip that thing around.
Yeah.
I'll get obsessed with looking at it a lot. I've noticed that, and you learn a lot about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you see yourself on camera, and that's one thing.
It's one of the hardest things to get used to, like watching
your voice,
yourself.
The stupid questions. Sometimes I don't listen enough. I realize that when somebody's talking, and then I kind of derail, so I don't know what to say.
Especially in this type of business, one of my coworkers told me this one time. As much as we talk and everything, it's way more important to listen.
Yes.
Because you're never going to learn anything by the sound of your own voice.
Not only that, but listening in and of itself builds the ground in which you stand on to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't listen, you don't know what the hell to freaking say.
Yeah.
And then you're left, up shit creek again. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And especially if you're asking questions, obviously, like when I go into interviews,
you have some questions.
Prepare some, but say it like some people, they're so like stuck to their agenda.
Yeah.
And I could ask you a question and you say something incredible that I could have a good follow up and it's like, okay, next question.
Now
I'm
you
like,
don't know what to do. Yeah.
I just that gave me a great opportunity to give a follow up question. Here I am stuck to my
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to listen.
Right.
That way it's like, oh wow, okay.
Be a little more off script.
Yeah.
Have a script, but be able to be off of it.
Yeah. And like, oh wait, here's the real story right here.
Right. Exactly. I like the stories you cover too.
Yeah.
Like going back to
it's different.
Going back to making points about health.
Mm-hmm.
Because in these bigger what do you call them? News networks. You don't see that a lot.
No.
And I think there's a lot more importance. And back to even just the things that I personally appreciate about 22 News is they just cover the story and they tell you what's happening. And I think that's lost in some of the larger networks where it becomes more politicized or more...
It's more opinion-based.
Opinion-based. And that's a really great way to put it because it's like they're no longer just telling you a story. They're telling you how to think or feel about a story. And obviously, we all know how much controversy that causes. It's pretty much what has created the state of the world today. It's just this perpetual thing going on.
Then it's like you have all these like third-party news organizations or these fake websites. Like you go on Facebook, you see like celebrity died, blah 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 blah, and or like something happened, and you look at it and like this person's still alive. Like what the heck? Like
always you read through it. They'll say something, and then you read through it, and then it's like the first two sentences, and the rest of it's nothing to do with
this doesn't seem right.
Yeah, they'll try to hook you. They'll try to hook you with the headline,
right?
And then they just start talking about something else. What the hell is this? And it's like it turns out not to be true at all.
Yeah.
Don't go off of memes and don't go off of every news or article.
Yeah, you can't. Don't believe everything you see.
Yeah, get like 3 sources before you can really confirm 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Multiple. We'll just say multiple sources. Too often do we like you'll hear somebody regurgitate a piece of information they got from like a meme or one article. You know what I mean?
Check a couple different websites. Do your research before you send that tweet or make that Facebook status.
Not enough research going on. A lot of just polarity being shot out of the abyss and then people just following up with that. And that's goes back to how polarizing some of the major news networks can be is you'll see people regurgitating what these major news networks had been talking about, and then that causes more people to start disagreeing. And I fundamentally believe, man, I really believe that people have more in common than they don't. And if we're just basing each other off of our opinions, it's just really easy to not make friends. You know what I mean? And that's just the worst thing that you see going on.
You have to have an open mind.
You got to have an open mind. You got to have at least the time to talk to these people. And obviously Facebook's not the place to do it, man.
No.
People spend way too much time and energy there.
Oh,
I just wish more networks were as open in a sense as like 22, or even the stuff you're doing. Are you the only reporter? I mean, I know there's a couple others, or how does that work?
Oh, no, we have like a team of reporters.
Yeah.
We got about, I think, like 8, 9 reporters.
Yeah, and you're all held to your own journalism and stuff, like to write the stories and follow
I mean,
up?
obviously, when we finish a story, we get it like looked at by like our producers or other coworkers. We always say second set of eyes.
Yeah.
And that's true. I mean, with anything you do, you double check it, make sure everything is right. You're not like we were saying earlier, misquoting somebody, saying anything that's not true. All your numbers, your information, your facts are right. Because once it's out there, it's out there.
Right. And that's the scary thing about journalism. I think a good friend of mine, one of our coaches at New England Functional Fitness was mentioning, like, there's a lot of aspects of journalism that are dying because there's a lot of journalists who will make a story based off of a headline from a major thing, because that's going to obviously be a bigger point. People will
more
this
clicks.
is what they're talking, more clicks, more views, more
Yeah.
and inevitably, obviously, I understand the importance of that too, because I'll even make, for those of you who have been following along to the clips of this podcast, I'll make a clip with a edgy headline, you know what I mean? Or not like name, just so people can look into it. It'll be obviously pertaining to what is in the conversation, but I like to make it something that might bring people in. So I understand that.
Yep.
But when you then take the headline and then reiterate the same points, it's sometimes that the aspect of being creative with your journalism seems to fade away.
And it's true, though. You do need to have, like, a punchy headline, like something, the attention grabber. Like, we call it, like,
that's
when you
a
send
skill
a
in
tweet.
and of itself.
Yeah. Like, when you send a tweet or something, when you try to, like, tease your story, we call it thumb stoppers.
Yeah.
When you're scrolling, how many times do you just,
What's this?
You got to stop, like, and then you click it, you want to find out more.
Yeah.
So you want to get that person to do that.
Yeah. And that's what essentially helps you get your story out, because if it's something bland and boring, of course no one's going to click on it.
Oh, of course. And then if, the retweets, the reshares, that's how you get more eyeballs.